Good day, grades. Today we would like to discuss on the topic legal language and introduction. The dictionary meaning of the word language is system of sounds, words, patterns, etc. used by humans to communicate thoughts of and feelings. It also means words, phrases, etc. used by a particular group of people. There are various forms of language: one's native language, a foreign language, an acquired language, bad or foul language, everyday language, the language of science, the language of the courtroom, medical language, legal language, etc. Another important language mix which makes a nation proud is called the national language. English is the national language of England, and French is the national language of France. There are different meanings of and various forms of language, but one of the most interesting definitions of language is the language is the art of concealing thoughts. When a school student reads the sentence, the child is the father of the man, for the first time, he becomes confused because he fails to understand the thoughts concealed in it. Unless the hidden thoughts and ideas contained in it are explained to him, it remains unintelligible to him. The use of the figures of speech, the wonderful display of primary imagination and fancy through poetic language, and the choice of diction make language and literature the outlets of feelings, emotions, and sensibilities. So far as medical language is concerned, it is Greek to the common man. The medical science has its own terminology and its special style of expression. Unless the hidden thoughts and ideas are explained in plain intangible language, it is difficult for anybody to understand medical language. Similarly, the legal language has the domain of its own. It has its own terminology, its own style and form. The use of Latin words and expressions, legal terms having specific meaning and specialized expressions conceal many thoughts and ideas which are required to be explained and interpreted conformity with the standard rules mentioned in the interpretation of statutes. Legal terms, expressions, and doctrines used in a statute cannot be interpreted in a haphazard manner. The study of the methods and techniques of interpretation of statutes is a sine qua non toward to the proper understanding of legal language. Article 14 in the Constitution of India deals with equality before law and equal protection of law. The expressions are not self-explanatory, they require proper interpretation to understand the thoughts and ideas concealed in them. Some say that equality before law is a negative concept and equal protection of law is a positive one. How can one understand the impact of the negative concept on the positive one? Legal language sometimes becomes complicated and difficult to understand. Similarly, the expressions, the rule of severability, and the doctrine of eclipse require clear interpretation to find out the thoughts and ideas inherent in them. As for the doctrine of severability, it is not the whole act that should be held inoperative, but only such provisions of it which are violative of fundamental rights and enshrined in the Constitution. But there is an exception to this general rule. Sometimes it is found that the valid and invalid portions of the Act are mixed up in such a way that one cannot be separated from the other. In such a case, the invalidity of one portion makes the entire Act invalid. The doctrine of eclipse also requires interpretation to clarify its object. An existing law inconsistent with a fundamental right becomes inoperative but does not die. The eclipsed, the eclipsed sun cannot be seen, but that does not mean that the sun is dead. The word election is often used in general English. The general elections are held under the People's Representation Act, whereas the doctrine of elections has a distinct legal meaning and is applicable under the Transfer of Property Act. The words cognizable offence, complaint, enquiry, investigation, trial, etc. have their specific legal meanings. There are many other legal words which have their specific legal meanings. Moreover, many Latin terms and expressions are used in legal language which require explanations. Ignorantia juris non exist, volenti non fit injuria, daemonine injuria, etc. are legal expressions which are required to be explained with special reference to decided cases. Mens rea, ad initio, ex parte, etc. are legal terms which have specific meanings and are used exclusively in expressing the principles of law. Old English and Middle English words are also used in legal language. Sometimes French words are also used. Sometimes common words are used in general English are used in legal sense, creating thereby confusion in the mind of readers as for pleading and drafting. There are various forms which are required to be learned. The drafting of plaint, the drafting of written statement, the presentation of written arguments, the framing of a charge in criminal cases, and the writing of judgments constitute an important part of legal language. There are various other forms and styles which have become an integral part of legal language. The use of the words hereinafter, hereto, herein, therein, whereby, whereas, therefore, etc. in legal language has given it an exclusively new style. General English also play an important role in legal language. The complications of legal language are removed by the use of simple, clear English which is required to be mastered by the students of law, especially by those who intend to practice in high courts and Supreme Court. Thousands of books on law have been written in English and the standard interpretations of law also have been made in English. A student of law, therefore, is required to acquire proficiency in English to achieve success as a legal practitioner in the court of law. The Indian jurists should now think seriously whether the use of Latin words and expressions in English language should continue enacted or not. The Latin words and expressions may have some historical significance, but their use in the legal language in India today may not be as significant as it was during the British regime. Language as well as law should be simplified or should be so restructured as to bring it closer to simple modern English, which is intelligible to ordinary graduates of the country. Legal language has its own specialty. Like technical English, it is precise, accurate, and unambiguous. It is different from literary English. Legal terms and expressions have been widely used in various subjects of law. There are many English words which have been used by jurists to express specific ideas relating to law, but such words have been used in the legal sense. It is this legal sense which distinguishes an English word from a legal word or term. Apart from the English words which have been used in the legal sense, there are many Latin terms and expressions which pose a problem to the students of law, and such Latin terms and expressions have become an integral part of the legal language. There are also many legal maxims which are required to be learned by the students of law. The legal terms and expressions have been used in the IPC, CRPC, CPC, Evidence Act, Indian Contract Act, Jurisprudence, Indian Constitution, Administrative Law, Company Law, TP Act, Law of Torts, and interpretation of statutes. So far as general English is concerned, it is required to be learnt under the new LLB courses of studies introduced in the recent past by the Bar Council of India. Legal language, legal writing and general English is a compulsory subject. Legal language is used by the persons connected to the legal professions. The language used by the lawyer, jurist and the legislative draftsmen in their professional capacities. Law, being a technical subject, speaks through its own register. Legal language has various like local legal language and English. Jaho, forever.